Ford exiting.
Well, Bob is, you know, not often do you get to spend time with the best at their respective profession. And we've been fortunate at Seminole to spend a great deal of time with Bob Ford. I've known him since we were children. My one word to describe Bob Ford is that he is elegant. He is an elegant man, and he has handled his profession as well, if not better, than anyone has ever done it.
Well said, buddy, and a beautiful play there by Fitzpatrick up to the par 5.
Can echo those sentiments. I've known Bob Ford since I was a teenager. He used to work with my old coach, Don Redmond, and yeah, he's as good as there's ever been in the club professional ranks.
So Fitzpatrick and Brown 1 up with 3 to play after the concession there on Castillo and Mao as we go to the par 4 16th.
Opening match, Mark Power, John Murphy from Great Britain and Ireland against Pearson Coody and John Pack from the U.S. Murphy and Power hanging on to that 1-up lead. Kurt Byram.
They are. They hit 3-wood off the tee. Pack hit 3-wood off the tee. They're in great shape. They have 131 to the hole.
You got like a perfect lie over there.
Power got up and hit driver, though, and he is in the sandy natural area through the fairway, but he came up with a very good lie.
Right to left. It's certainly hurting. I'd say more right to left than hurting.
How far? More right to left. Hey, Chris. Hey. It's like perfectly right in the way. Did you go anywhere else? Just a step right in the hole.
Uninterrupted coverage of the 48th Walker Cup is presented by Rolex.
Right after that guy walking up on the hill there.
The
Right edge of the green.
That was the other guy.
Or right edge of that bunker.
160.
160.
Quite a few of
Maybe
them.
it's 22.
I'm thinking like that. I mean, it's going to get stood up, but we can't really just fly one in there or one hop over. So we got to just trust that we can hit it in there and let it spin.
Correct. Yeah, I mean 16 maxing out on 25.
And we need it finishing on the right rate.
Yeah, correct. That'd be straight up hill putt. Yep.
Okay, so max shot 25.
Yeah, maxing out 25. It's a good one. That breaks a great target. All right.
Trying to be very specific about that target. The wind is hurting, but it's a lot from the right here. Anything left of the hole with spin could come off the green. So his target he gave him is well right of this flagstick. Up into the breeze a little bit on a pretty darn good line. Yeah, that's a good shot. That leaves an uphill putt if it stays.
It'll stay. That's a fabulous shot. I don't know who taught him how to hit that knockdown 9er wedge. Maybe his granddad, but he can sure play that shot.
Now John Murphy.
They are very fortunate to catch this lie. It's sandy but clean. 96 yards. Out to the right. It's struggling a little bit to get there. Let's see if it stays up. Not bad out of that lie. They were very fortunate. A lot of footprints over there.
Don't have enough, but it didn't spin.
Drop back to 13. Davis Thompson has this to tie the hole. And he does. That team remaining 3 up.
Great Britain and Ireland.
The USGA's network of allied golf associations is your direct connection to golf in your community, and together they're helping to grow the game and lead it forward. To obtain a USGA handicap index, volunteer, or participate in playing opportunities in your area, click on your state at usga.org/AGA. Barkley Brown getting ready to go on the tee at 16. He's got driver in hand, but he's got to wait a little bit.
He can move it, and you would think that there was something of a strategy session in this GB&I team in terms of what they would do here on 16. Should they get this right to left helping wind and the tee be moved up as it is today? Certainly the match ahead took driver. Barkley ready to rip it, and in fact he's over the ball now and ready to roll, even though there's a couple of people in the way. big rip on a good line. It's right at the green. Just a question of what kind of lie he can come up with.
A fantastic lie, Bones. It hopped out of the bunker, which was 333 to carry.
We've seen Great Britain and Ireland do that over the last couple of days, Paul, on 16. Take that driver and aggressive route, and maybe part of their planning and preparation at the start of this week.
Yeah, it seems like they've discussed how they want to attack this hole, and now Castillo says, I'm going to go ahead and try to answer that.
How about the momentum change in this match, guys? GB and I with 2 wins in the last 2 holes to grab the 1-up lead. This match is gigantic.
And what's interesting to me here is that Castillo's caddy has his laser out, and he's shooting a number for his man, which leads me to believe that they might be caught a little off guard by the fact that this tees up and that it's drivable, and they might not have had that yardage originally. He also didn't go to the club that quickly because of that, and you can't help but think now with the momentum squarely in the GB&I corner that he feels pressure here to go for the green as well.
And Paul, if it catches you off guard, how committed and ready can you be to hit this shot under the gun?
Well, it's not that big a deal. I mean, you just now have to decide, because every shot in match play is with a specific purpose to put pressure on your opponent, and that's what he's done. And Castillo is really wrestling now with his decision, but it looks like he finally made it up. He's going to go ahead and crank that driver, and you know, that's kind of true to form in match play. You just follow your opponent right down the fairway when you're behind and see if you can out-wedge him.
And he might be saying right now, I'm a little longer than you, so I think I'll wait for the green to clear.
Yeah, he may be saying that, and he hits it a country mile for as skinny as he is. Wait till he fills out.
So as Ricky waits on the tee at 16, we jump up to the green where John Pack has this for birdie.
Another good look here for birdie. Power putted up. He's got a 3-footer. They have a 3-footer left here, but a good opportunity for Pack to even up this match. And that's a misread right there. That was a straight putt.
So par conceded to the Americans. Murphy, a little one left for his par to remain 1 up. He's wasted little time the last couple of days, Kurt. He gets in there and he goes.
They certainly do. Both of those guys get right in there and go. And they've been putting these very confidently. In my mind, they've only missed one makeable one today, and that was at 11. Excuse me, at 12.
1 up, 2 to go for Great Britain and Ireland in that opening match. Castillo still waiting on the tee. So to your point, he thinks if he's going to give it a go, he might be able to get it there.
Well, you might aim right where all the spectators were just watching the action there on 16 green. There's a huge mound to the right that Buddy Marucci showed me the other day. If it really is a shorter shot to go further right of the green than if you go right at it, Bones.
Well, that's exactly right, Paul. And you mentioned that bank right of the green that you can use to catapult your ball towards the green. The problem is now that there's a couple hundred people standing on the bank, and Ricky doesn't want to give anybody a headache.
Yeah, that would definitely cause a headache if he were to pipe somebody upside the head. I think that's where he wants to go, and that may be why he's still waiting. No, he's ready now.
Got to commit.
Got to hit it solid or he will not fly that sandy area.
Boy, this is ripped, and it's on a pretty good line as well.
Oh, yes, that's ideal.
Between the carts.
That is ideal. Yep, right up on that hill. How about that?
Worth the wait for Ricky.
Yeah, we'll see if that's a good angle or not. It looks like a pretty dicey shot. He let the shaft, excuse me, out of the bag here. Watch his left foot. Very few guys that take that club and lift their left foot off the ground, but he does on the backswing and the follow through. That was awesome.
I agree with you. I thought Jim was
All right, first match has arrived to the 17th hole, which has given both sides all they can handle.
It's got to be the club.
There's a look at that green sloping back away from the ocean. Wind coming off of the ocean.
I think, honestly, middle of that green, you're probably maxing out around 200 shots.
So we're landing max on 200.
Yes, correct.
Just one of the great par threes in all the world, really.
Like that?
so hard.
Okay.
The actual is 184. They have it playing right at 200. Brutal hole location with this wind in and from the left. I mean, if you get it close here, I feel like you've really pull hooked a shot in there. Anything in the middle of the green is a great shot here again. Might be tougher than the tee shot at 13.
This hole played 166 yesterday afternoon, and nobody hit the green. The whole entire afternoon. Maybe one guy. We're just hitting 9 irons. This is a 5-iron, Kurt, in that wind. Goodness.
Which for him normally, that's at least a 205-yard club. So he's going to choke down, try to hit. I think he's going to try to hit a controlled draw, and that might be the only way to hold it onto this green.
Future Walker Cup player there looking on.
Yeah.
This is a new tee back here, which has lengthened it.
He likes the
That's
flight.
what he did. It's right at the center of the green.
And watch this.
Dude.
He knows it.
Just don't know what you can do.
That was a quality shot. You can see Pack just going, are you serious? That didn't stay on?
Well, when you finish like that, the low hands usually mean low trajectory, low finish, low traj, and wind still peeled it.
Dude.
Better shot than the result, that's for sure.
All right. Americans in the bunker there. John Murphy will try to counter that. And this little slider for Jack Dyer to win the hole at 11. Yep, and they've got Hagestad and Strafacci big time on the ropes. GB&I 5 up in that anchor match. Murphy, and he doesn't like it.
Nah, he tried hitting 6-iron. It started right, and it hung out well to the right.
It's on a little strip. Not bad.
Yeah, probably a good break.
Time now for another message from the United States Golf Association, courtesy, once again, of the 43rd President of the United States.
My name is George Walker Bush, in part named for the guy who gave the Walker Cup. My great-grandfather was a guy named G.H. Walker, and he gave the cup. He was a sportsman, loved golf. I never really knew him. Of course, I knew his interest in golf. The stories were passed down from one generation to the next. It's neat to have that deep lineage into the game of golf.
The great-grandson of George Herbert Walker, the 43rd President of the United States of America, President George Walker Bush.
It's important for families to pass down a tradition from one generation to the next. And in my case, I played with my grandfather, who was the head of the USGA, a very good golfer, by the way. And I played some with my dad, and my brothers and I now play with each other, and we're now playing with their children. And so it really starts with J.H. Walker, who was probably the first golfer in our family. How you doing? It's been a tradition in my family to support golf, and I'm more than happy to keep it alive. I love the game of golf.
All right, Mr. President, what do I got?
You got a putter. Amateur golf is really good for the country, and I support the USGA and the Walker Cup because I think it's good for the game.
And 43 sure has been good for the game. Another appearance here, again, the 3rd straight Walker Cup here in the U.S. that he has attended. And he was out at the opening ceremony greeting the players. He spent some time with them on the golf course. Met each and every one of them, posed for hundreds of pictures with the caddies, Seminole members. Boy, he's a great ambassador of this game.
Certainly is. Back out at 16, second for Mao.
Just 44 yards after the GB&I team left it some 20 feet short. This looks good if it takes a skip.
A couple of birdie putts upcoming in match 2 for Great Britain and Ireland and U.S. We jump ahead to 17.
For the second shots, and on this strip of green real estate is Power.
Very lucky to have it here. I think it's a slightly easier shot than the bunker shot. A little more control going back into this breeze.
Good shot.
Oh, right off the stick.
Step out, hold it.
Shot.
Again, crucial match, the opener of this morning foursomes here. Power and Murphy trying desperately to hang on to this, what would be a huge victory over Cootie and Pack.
Yeah, it feels like this is a critical match for GB and I to win. If they want to be, if they want to have a chance to win this competition, they got to win that match.
Here's Pack where Cootie put him in this bunker.
Got to be aggressive here, back into that breeze. And he played a lower, trying to run it up there. Very nice. I'll tell you what, that is really creative right there, Paul. He took it in lower instead of the high one.
Yeah, this Pox, he's got a lot of game.
16.
To the green, a couple of birdie putts. This is Barkley Brown.
Very syrupy putting stroke, but just didn't get the turn at the end. Looking for the wind to push that more towards the hole. You would think that would be given, and it is.
You never know.
It's getting late out here on Championship Sunday.
Ricky Castillo, William Malley were 3 up in this match through 6 holes. Great Britain, Ireland has hung around, chipped away, has won the last 2 holes to take a 1-up lead, but Castillo could tie this up.
One of the biggest putts of this young man's life.
What a response there by Ricky Castillo.
And a world-class fist pump. Nicely done.
Yeah, a lot of heart there. Everything on that green was so purposeful, especially for the GBI team. Barkley Brown, if he makes his putt, changes the whole dynamic there for Castillo.
Back to this opening match, and for par, we have a couple of putts here.
Well, if they can knock this in, if Murphy makes this putt for par, that would make that American putt a lot longer. This is dead downwind, but a fairly flat spot right here. First one they missed here in the last few holes that really mattered.
And look at that one get by. There is a little bit left indeed, coming back the other way.
What a shame after that beautiful shot that Mark Power hit in there.
So what an opportunity is for Pearson Cootie here.
This has to be so much fun for these guys, competing at the highest level in the Walker Cup. Pearson Cootie's got this putt to square this match up.
Yeah, this is the kind of putt, Kurt, that if Pearson makes it, he can draw on that for the rest of his life. I mean, these guys are young, but you remember the putt you made on 17 at the Walker Cup.
No doubt.
And this is a big one. This is to get the match to all square in a match that the GBI team has to win, Kurt.
And there's Grandpa Cootie, right greenside.
He knows what it's like to make important putts.
Well, he knows how hard they are. He actually referred to it yesterday, the pressure of these 5-6 footers in this competition, and now he's got to watch his grandson do it.
Who do you think's more nervous, Paul?
Charles is more nervous than his grandson, I guarantee you. Grandson's in the flow now. Big putt.
Oh, walks it right in. What a 3 for the Americans to tie the match going to the last at 18.
Incredible pressure now on Power and Murphy.
They were 3 down to the Irish duo of Power and Murphy through 8 holes, and they have chipped away on this second 9 and finally pulling even with a clutch par 3 at the 17th. And Charles Cootie loving it. He says by far it's more nerve-wracking to watch than play. And he's headed over to the 18th tee. And this 18th hole is tough. Back up to the 17th for the second match.
And Dan, these guys obviously know that the wind's coming from left to right. The conversation on the tee is how much hurt do we have? So you've got to rely on these local guys that know the angles of this golf course and the wind so well.
You wearing your kilt today, Bones?
You know, I was going to, but the dry cleaners closed early, and I wasn't able to pick it up.
Interesting club selection here with 7-iron.
Yeah, you would think Williams probably playing to the front half of the green with this kind of club. 184 and a lot of hurt.
Pearson Coody just hit a 5-iron 10 minutes ago.
Yeah, exactly. As I said, I mean, it's just hard to figure out how much hurt is up there at the moment when you have very little experience on this course.
Come on.
Hit very hard, but up in the left-right wind, and that one is going to miss short and right.
It's on that same little strip that Great Britain and Ireland had of the previous match. By the way, the first two matches here both tied. The one ahead at 18, this one all tied up as well. Alex Fitzpatrick.
Mr. Sparkplug also going with 7. Back in his stance, very low, drawing it in that left-right wind, but not enough. This also missing right.
Yeah, and I think the U.S. has an advantage being able to play from the grass.
Tee shot for John Packert.
Wind in and from the left and absolutely howling. Different line today. More to the right off this tee to be safe.
Sit. Sit.
He likes it.
Asking it to sit down a bit.
Yeah, really good. Yeah, that's fine.
Good shape.
Should be fine. Well, Rory McIlroy teams up with Peacock to bring you the all-new Golf Pass channel. Watch premier instruction, entertainment from the golf membership program, plus daily news from Golf Channel. You can sign up at peacocktv.com and start watching now. Back to the tee for Great Britain and Ireland's response with Mark Power.
Some pressure on him to hit a good tee shot here now with the Americans in the fairway. This is all on a pretty good line as well. Should be fine.
Yeah, that's a couple clutch tee shots when they needed them most, and that's not easy in that left to right wind.
Downhill. So many of these Great Britain and Ireland players playing college golf here in the States. Mark Power, sophomore, Wake Forest, did win across the pond, the Irish Open Boys champion 2 years in a row. Pretty sporty back-to-back titles there. And then the Irish Open Boys champion as well. That is a heck of a double-double. So he's at one of the great college golf powerhouses here in the United States, playing for Wake Forest and playing in his first Walker Cup. And he is in the throes of a big-time pressure match, all tied up with Coody and Pack as they play the 18th. But this penultimate hole at Seminole at 17 has just been everything the players can handle. We believe that Great Britain and Ireland will play first here, and that would be Barkley Brown.
And Paul Azinger, you are amazing out of the sand, but I got to think that the U.S. has the advantage here playing off the grass. This is a very tough shot right back into the wind, knowing full well that if you catch it a little bit thin, certainly the ball is going to be out of here and leave an impossible angle. So difficult to get yourself to get this ball all the way to the hole.
Yeah, I never quite figured out how to do this correctly. He's trying to bump and run it, maybe. That's pretty well done.
Yeah, that's a handy play.
Sure is.
So it'll be a par attempt from there from Alex Fitzpatrick, who's been a part of some fireworks on this 17th hole all week.
And let it be said that that 7-iron that William Mao hit off this tee was enough club. This ball got deep enough where I don't think there's any question that had he knocked it more towards the green, it would have gotten within 30 feet of the hole. So nice club selection off the tee, and Castillo now playing off the grass. Clips it, looking for one skip and a check.
Good shot. Both good second shots from both sides there. So a couple of par putts left. There is the beautiful landscape at the par 3 17th. Up the coastline to the par 4 18th, where the first match is all tied. Pearson Coody, John Pack.
We have them dead even. I would want the rules official to make a determination here. They are using the lasers, but sometimes lasers are off by a yard or two. Paul, I would want to go first in this situation.
Yeah, I would too. I'd like to put the heat on and not have to respond. Maybe they'll toss the coin in the air here.
If they read that same shot and land in the middle, it's going to release more.
I think the Americans are going to be first.
How about all the matches that have come to the 18th hole? All 4 yesterday. So this is the 5th straight foursome match to reach 18. But we don't have any ties, which is even more remarkable when you consider.
It's unheard of, really, isn't it, to get all these matches to come to the last hole. Pearson Coody is going to go first, it looks like, Kurt. And
while we wait for that, we go to Fitzpatrick for par at 17. Americans have a par putt inside. You'll see a fist pump here if this goes down. No. So it's a big opportunity back at 17 for the Americans coming up. Here's Coody saying be right with his second.
181. He was trying to keep it down, but the wind's got it out to the right. Is it going to stay up there?
No way. That's going to go down to the practice tee.
This could end up on the practice tee. I rolled one off that green yesterday that ended up down there on the practice tee.
Look at this thing pick up speed over the cables and into that practice area.
Well, the only saving grace, that's going to be a cherry lie, and it's into the wind, but that's not what you want when you're first. Now just get it anywhere on the green.
And Murphy, this is an opportunity right here.
Opportunity.
Boy, really low. A draw back into the breeze. Wind pushing it.
He's walking
really
up like he likes.
good.
That is a beauty.
That is one of the best shots under pressure he's probably ever hit in his life.
Redshirt senior at Louisville, John Murphy, a part of this Irish duo trying to stay unbeaten in team play at this Walker Cup. They are pumped.
There you go. Oh, right at the bucket. That's it.
They were sent out first today. That has been the honor for Alex Fitzpatrick in previous Walker Cups, but they felt so good about this duo from Ireland that Stuart Wilson sent him out, and it could be the first point of this Sunday. 4 par to win the hole is Mao, and he just pours it in. So Castillo and Mao one up with 1 to play.
Well, the Americans have dominated the 17th and 18th holes so far in this competition. They're doing it again today.
So here we go. You've got 3 leads, the 1 tie there, which is being played out at 18 right now, as Pack will have a shot from the driving range up back to the 18th green. Thompson and Hammer in control against Flanagan and Schmidt. And there's that 1-up lead that Castillo and Mao just took at 17. Lamb and Dyer are totally in control of Hagestead and Strafacci. So Great Britain and Ireland hoping that they can get at least a couple here, and maybe they can turn around the match there that's headed to 18 and scratch out a half point. We have not had one tied match so far in this Walker Cup. Castillo off the tee at 18.
Down.
Very high on a good line, just needs the wind to knock it down and a soft first bounce.
Yeah, that's perfect.
And that will put a lot of pressure on the GB&I twosome, given the fact they are 1 down on the last.
Yep, they've got to win this hole outright, Bones, to get that half point. Barkley Brown will respond to the Castillo drive.
Very high also, a little right in terms of line. Needs a soft first. And that ball appears from the tee. We can't quite tell if it reached the sand.
Just short, Bones, so he's okay. And this is Pack's shot up the hill.
He's probably licking his chops, Kurt, into that wind.
I don't know. This is 50 yards. There's no room for error here. Short comes back to his feet. Long goes in the bunker. It's got to be almost perfect.
He can do it. This guy can do it. He's got the hands. He's got the skill. It's into the wind. He's got to hit a pearl.
He's practiced that sawed-off spinner. That's what he hit. Gonna fly past the hole.
Oh, he flew it too far. And they're going to have to go first now, it looks like, Kurt.
Well, GBI just hit one of the best shots I've seen in 2 days. That under the pressure, under those circumstances, that was a phenomenal second shot.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
That was hit by John Murphy.
Yep, he knocked it down. He held it on that really strong left to right wind, too, to a really just a very difficult target to hit. I mean, half of that green is going to feed the ball down to the right, just like 17, Dan, and run it right off the green.
And again, you cannot overstate what a huge victory this would be for Great Britain and Ireland. Not only just to win this tight match in the opener, but to do it over Cootie and Pack.
Yep.
The two really strong players for Nathaniel Crosby's side. And that would just kind of trickle through the rest of the Great Britain and Ireland team as they've got that anchor match sewed up. And then we've got these two other matches, the big lead by Davis Thompson and Cole Hammer, 3 up. And so this is huge.
There's nothing easy about this putt. You know, you're putting downhill, downwind, down grain. I mean, you can't get much quicker than this. They're looking well out to the left and going to give it some room to break down that hill to the right.
The U.S. has really brought some firepower to the 17th and 18th holes. They have won 8. GB&I has won 2. There have been 7 ties on 17 and 18. So the Americans have really stood out on these last 2 holes, which have been so important because so many of these matches have been going late. But we'll see what happens here. This for par. GB&I still with a birdie attempt left.
Nah, not very good.
Yeah, so Great Britain and Ireland is going to have a putt to win it here at the 18th.
And there's no chance they were going to concede that short putt either, because they know how fast this could be if they happen to hit one just a little too hard and it gets rolling out to the right.
Yeah, you don't want to get frisky on this one. And just 2 putts to win, though,
just
Kurt.
2 putts with it. Americans still not in for bogey. There's Stuart Wilson, amateur champion in his own right, career-long, lifelong amateur. His squad, huge underdogs as they came over here to Seminole. And again, with a COVID situation, the challenge of just selecting a Great Britain and Ireland team was incredible. They didn't get a chance to do it the way they wanted to, but they cobbled the team together, and here they are just a couple points away from winning the opening point of this Sunday.
Exactly what they were trying to do.
That's a huge win, and they needed to do it. They did what they had to do. Stuart Wilson put them out. He put them out there on a mission, and they came through for him.
Mark Power and John Murphy go 2-0 in the foursomes, and Mark Power runs his record to 3-0, unbeaten so far as he gets ready for the singles matches later on to decide it. So Mark Power, the sophomore at Wake Forest, and John Murphy, the big-time duo for Stuart Wilson's Great Britain and Ireland squad. This is Alex Fitzpatrick watching from back in the fairway. Power and Murphy put the point away. But Fitzpatrick and Barclay Brown got to figure out a way to win this hole to scratch out a half point, because they are 1 down to Castillo and Mao.
And we all know what a great player Alex Fitzpatrick is. He just hasn't been able the last couple of days to step up at those absolutely huge moments late in the match. 17th green was a perfect example. Unfortunately for him, he had a really good looking putt that breaks off at the last moment. And then William Mao pours it in from 10 feet to win the hole and take a 1-up lead for the U.S. So Alex now really grinding here from a .184. He's got to hit a quality shot here and put some pressure on the American 2-ball.
This is probably playing 15 to 20 yards longer than the yardage.
This is up the right edge. This is dangerous. Needs to land very softly, or it could release a long way.
This is going to be another one of those that runs down. Similar position in the match that just ended here. Yep, about 50 yards or so back up the slope.
Yep.
And so talk about a shot that just could put this thing away.
Full of confidence after that putt on the last. This too up the right edge. Dangerous.
It's gone, Bones.
That might find the sand.
Oh, he's going to get
no,
lucky.
It's trying to get hung up, and it does.
That might be a massive break. He might have to deal with some of that bunker there. No, that's actually perfect leave if you're not going to be on the green here at 18.
Back to 13, Burko.
Yeah, Dan, this was a moment ago. Jack Dyer, a couple of putts to close out the American team of Stuart Hagestad and Tyler Strafacci. What a performance by Jack Dyer and Matty Lamb. Impressive in that anchor match for GB&I. 6-5 victory. While we have a moment, let's go down and note it again.
Yeah, thanks, Burko. Dominating performance by you two today. Matty, what kicked in for you guys after you got off to a quick lead?
We just played real solid and tried to, no matter how far ahead we got, or we just tried to commit to our lines and keep hitting good shots. Hit a load of greens, and Jack holed out really well. And I think the last hole we played was our only bogey of the day. So obviously, just played really solid all day.
And Jack, I don't know if you were counting. I was. You had 6 1-putts, some of them very critical, especially at the 12th hole. How quickly did you adjust to these greens and to this sort of difficult windy conditions?
Yeah, I mean, that's why we've been out here a while, to get used to these greens. You've come here last week and I was amazed at how quick they are. You get used to it at the end, but it's all about leaving it in the right spots. Apart on 12 there, that was up the hill. You don't want to be coming downhill with this wind as well. So Matty left in good spots and managed to hold some nice ones out there today.
Well, congratulations to you both. Big point for your team. I know you're anxious to go support your teammates, so play well this afternoon.
Thank you so much. Cheers. Thank you.
Yeah, 2 points for Great Britain and Ireland. 7-7 with 2 more matches to be decided. One of them a 2-up lead. And again, the United States, in the big scheme of things, needing 6 more points to retain the cup. Great Britain and Ireland with its 2 points already secured in these morning foursomes, 6.5. So this thing is tightened up considerably. But Great Britain and Ireland having a deal well right of this 18th green and already 1 down. It's looking very strong for the Americans to perhaps secure their first point in this match. Maybe.
Well, both shots are kind of tricky. I think that GBI has a much more difficult shot, but he can do it.
Well, what he does have going for him is that he can use the wind to get it stopped. It's all about contact.
It is about contact, Bones. We saw the shot in the group before, and it by Castillo, I believe it was, and it just went a little too far. It was actually Pock that hit it.
Yep.
And but it's going to one hop and stop if he makes good contact, Bones. He's just got to get the right distance.
You got to get the ball up in the air, use the spin, use the wind, and just commit. But a very difficult shot given the pressure of playing late here now in this Walker Cup. Boy, he went for it. This looks good. That is, it's almost too good. I mean, that is a fantastic effort from that young man.
It's coming back like it almost wants to go back down. It stays.
What an incredible shot. I knew he was going to sauce it. We saw Pack do that earlier. He flew it too far.
All right, so they've got a shot at par. It all depends on what the Americans do here. Castillo.
Very fortunate to be in this position. I think that when they saw that second shot leaking to the right, they had to be very concerned. But now you don't have to spin this one. Just pitch it on and let it run out. Touch of class.
What a play. What a play. And so that just about does it. All they need to do is tie the hole.
The question is now, and Barclay Brown's having that conversation with his partner, do we concede this? And they're going to want to see it.
Absolutely.
Yep.
No point in giving the winning putt, Bones. You got to make them putt it.
Oh, wait a second. Hats are off.
Great sportsmanship.
Yep, they thought about it a little bit more. And the United States hangs on.
I'm shocked by that, honestly. That's a good solid couple feet there, but it is good sportsmanship, no doubt. That's what it's all about.
Well, we just talked about how Mark Power has gone a perfect 3-0 for Great Britain and Ireland. Ricky Castillo has run his record to 3-0, partnering up here with William Mao to win the first point of the Sunday for Nathaniel Crosby's side, and U.S. pulls ahead 8-7 in the overall point total. So just one more match to decide here in the morning foursomes. And it is a 2-up lead for the United States, Burko, but Flanagan and Schmidt just coming off a win at the 15th.
Yeah, they're looking to try to keep it going. Flanagan has a birdie putt here at the par 4.
And Cole Hammer, the Americans were in trouble off the tee. They found one of those bunkers off the tee, came up short of the green. Cole Hammer pitched it to gimme range, so the Americans are in with a 4.
Oh, that would have been for 2 in a row for Great Britain and Ireland. So the Americans head to 17 with that 2-up lead. The lone foursome match remaining on the course here this morning.
Great Britain and Ireland 4, United States of America 4, United States of America 2 up.
Well, the GB&I team have come out here this morning and done what they needed to do, Steve, and that's just stay in the match, stay close. And if they could get a half this morning, I think they'd be pretty happy with that.
They certainly would. And while we have a moment, let's go down to Steve Sands.
All right, Steve, thank you. We did this yesterday on the 18th. Now here we are beside the 18th green again, the Irish duo. What is it about you guys, John, that makes you succeed as a team together?
I mean, we've known each other for so long, you know, it's just great to be out there with a friend in such a big moment. We just had such a good time all day, even when we were losing holes or dropping shots. We just said, let's just enjoy every moment of this, you know, let's stay present, make good swings, but enjoy it all while we're here, and that's what we did, and, you know, thankfully played off in the end.
Enjoying the moment, and a big moment, as John alluded to. How do you draw down the emotion to be able to succeed in a format like this when you know so much is on the line?
Yeah, I think as I've said, I'd rather have no one else rather than John by my side. We just tried to keep everything as simple as possible. It's obviously a huge occasion, but for us, we just want to just enjoy it. And I know it's a cliche, but if we're having fun and enjoying ourselves out there, normally good golf comes with that. And I think this morning, the start we got off to was just incredible. And we just tried to feed off that all day. Obviously, Pearson and John, great players, they came back at us, but the shot he hit into the last, that 5-iron it's pretty hard to describe how impressive that was. So definitely going to give credit to my Cork man here.
You guys make a great team. Another point for GB&I. Congratulations. We'll see you this afternoon.
Thanks so much. Thank you.
Let's go back out to 17.
All right, Ben Schmidt first to play here. Great Britain and Ireland backs against the wall here. Need to win this hole to extend it to 18. Schmidt doesn't seem to be thrilled with this one.
Just such a brutally tough tee shot right now. I mean, you have to hook it into that wind to keep it on the green.
Yeah, you're right. If it's falling right or sliding on the wind, Kurt, it could go all the way off.
More than likely, it's going off the green. There's just too much slope on that right half of the green.
So next up, Kurt, the All-American from Georgia, Davis Thompson, teaming up here with Cole Hammer.
This is the least amount of club that I've seen a player hit here. I've seen 5, 6. Now Thompson with a 7-iron. This had better be flighted down low and hit solidly if it's going to get up there. And he's looking out to the right as well.
That is short and right, skidded down into that front right bunker. Well, maybe not quite into that bunker, but just on the edge. That might be a pretty awkward shot.
Well, there's a look at what it is. It is awkward.
All right, our Rolex Championship recap as we flash back to yesterday. Again, that was day 1 in the morning foursomes. Great Britain and Ireland played tough. They turned around a couple of matches and had a 2-2 after the morning session, but then the United States got its big lineup going in the afternoon, took charge in the singles competition to build a 7-5 lead coming into this day 2. So the next USGA championship on our televised radar is the U.S. Women's Open, coming your way June 3rd through the 6th at Olympic Club. And the rest of the USGA championships televised on Golf Channel and NBC. The U.S. Open, of course, at Torrey Pines, where Tiger Woods won that epic 2008 title. And there is Olympic Club, one of the great venues in USGA championship history. Covered U.S. in control here, 2 up. All you need to do is tie this hole and they'll close it out.
Brutal break right here. This is a sandy lie and on the downhill and not sitting very well. Got to get it up quick. It was just brutal. I don't know how the ball stayed there.
Well, it came from the other direction. It was up on top of the hill, rolled all the way through the bunker, and somehow, unfortunately for the U.S. team, just hung up.
That was a very, very bad break for the Americans there.
Well, now the important thing is to make sure you don't make worse than a 4, because the GB&I team are in trouble as well.
So the Americans still away.
They're going to take a moment here and take a look at this bunker shot, as they should. Long bunker shot, Paul, back into the breeze. It's not an easy one to get all the way back there.
There's Davis Thompson, such an impressive All-American, as we mentioned, from Georgia. Shot 69 in the first round of the U.S. Open at Winged Foot last year. It was an historic kind of round for an amateur at Winged Foot. Anytime you get to add your name to what Bobby Jones has accomplished as the lowest round by an amateur at the U.S. Open at Winged Foot, that's always good. But this is a tough, long bunker shot. At least he's got a better situation lie-wise than Hammer did.
Pretty good.
Yep.
Not lie.
I'd say he clipped it. I thought he had to go for the fat roller, but he didn't. He caught that perfectly. And they've got a chance to make a putt for 4.
And all the other matches completed. You've got both teams, captains, the whole staffs, everybody surrounding this final point up in the air before we head to the 10 singles matches later on. So this is the bunker shot for Great Britain and Ireland. You got to be aggressive with this one.
Yeah, Flanagan's really stalking around impatiently. We can't wait to hit this shot. Lower trajectory, good looking, great looking.
What a shot.
He's an incredible bunker player. His caddy, Tim, approached me this morning and said, "You should see this guy in the sand." I said, "We saw him on 17 yesterday."
That's right. Yeah, he had an unbelievable shot along the dune edge at 17. Right here, that was like one for the ages here at Seminole. And then his partner, Jake Bolton, who was an alternate, poured in the par putt for just one of the most miraculous pars you'll ever see here at Seminole's 17.
Yep, and it flipped the match as well, which is huge.
All right, so for bogey, Hammer in a must-make situation here. And maybe Great Britain and Ireland can somehow scratch out a half point here. They'd have to win the 18th as well. Again, U.S. 2 up as they come to the 17th.
One time they were 4 up and in complete control of this match.
Yes,
Twice they were 4 up.
Yep, they were 4 up through 8 after being 4 up for the first time through 5. That's well done. It's a 4, which makes this upcoming putt for par a little more challenging. But this to win the hole from this distance after the beautiful bunker shot by the sand master himself, Angus Flanagan. This is Ben Schmidt.
Yeah, I mean, they practice this range thousands of times, but they don't do it with this kind of pressure. Good luck.
Yep, Ben Schmidt, the youngest player on either side at 18 years old. So Great Britain and Ireland extends it to 18, 1 down with 1 to play. They are. Still have not seen a single match in this Walker Cup tied. It's just amazing. And as a founding partner since 1997, the USGA has helped First Tee create experiences that build character in millions of kids through the game of golf. That legacy continues today. And for more information on how to get your kids involved, go to firsttee.org. All right, so they're headed to the 18th tee, 455 yards down the coastline. It will be Angus Flanagan with a tee shot for Great Britain and Ireland. Cole Hammer will send it down there for the American squad.
This is a huge fairway, but it slopes left to right, and it's a slight dogleg left, and the wind is blowing from the left. So everything about this tee shot is more difficult because of the circumstances and the wind. You cannot carry that last bunker today. You got to bail to the right today.
Look at that. 7 of the 8 foursomes have gone to the 18th hole. And again, no ties.
Yeah, the line has really changed off this tee box from what it was the first 2 days. That wind was helping, and from the left the first couple days, it's in from the left now, and that's no man's land if you hit it too far to the left. This is out to the right. There's no B over there.
Good angle.
It's a driving range area, and that's exactly where he is.
That's a mile back, though. I bet he's close to 190, 200 yards away from back there.
Potential palm tree problem if you're trying to drive something in there a little lower.
Same shot Flanagan hit yesterday on 18, leaving his partner Bolton over there from the range.
So Cole Hammer hit a good one here, and you are in control. 1 up.
Well, if you can put it in this fairway today in this left to right wind, you got some game.
No one on this team has more experience than this guy the last couple years.
Look out left.
He's looking down the left.
Oh.
It hung up on the downslope on that back part of the bunker. That could be really, really bad.
It's almost kind of like a similar,
same as last
unlucky
hole.
break they got at the 17th. Except this time, instead of Cole Hammer having to handle it, it'll be Davis Thompson who's going to have to deal with that lie. So we shall see. All right, time now for Signature Moments, presented by Rolex, as the American squad heads down the 18th. And we look back to the 2007 Walker Cup at Royal County Down. What a venue that was in Northern Ireland. You see some familiar faces there. Webb Simpson, Trip Keeney, a part of that squad. Buddy Marucci was the captain of the team, leading players like Webb Simpson and Ricky Fowler. Dustin Johnson also part of the squad. Buddy Marucci had some firepower in this lineup.
Well, I could tell you that I don't know that there's been a better team. I'm sure there have been a lot of great teams, but we had 8 fully exempt players on the PGA Tour. We had a great venue. We played against Rory and Danny Willett and Reese Davies, and came down to the last shot on the last hole, the last day. And Jonathan Moore eagled the last hole to win from 4 feet in front of about 13,000 people. I'm not sure it was majestic. I mean, it was a moment that you'll never forget as long as you live. So I was quite privileged to be involved in that.
And here is that team again, 12.5 to 11.5 over Great Britain and Ireland at that famed venue. Rory McIlroy, Danny Willett, a part of the other side of it at Royal County Down. We were helped pretty mightily, buddy, by that morning sweep of Sunday's foursomes matches that got the ball rolling and able to hang on.
Well, that was kind of the interesting thing. We had won all 4 in the morning to go up 10-6 after being tied the day before. And then our stalwarts went out early and managed to lose the first 4 matches. So
gave the captain a little bit of an anxiety.
That's where I learned how to throw up. So but it was a great experience, and obviously one I'll never forget. And my team could not have been more proud of them, and I've remained friends with most of them. So it's been wonderful for me.
All right, so 1 match remaining here in this 48th Walker Cup. Sunday morning foursomes. 10 singles matches later on to decide it. And there is that lie.
It's a mole. No. What do you call it? Burrowing animal. Yeah, I know. What's a mole? It's a mole.
It's actually a mole cricket, I think, more so than the actual mole itself.
If they get relief, it's a tremendous break.
Oh, yeah.
Well, we're asking about animal mountains.
If that's from his pants, then the cast, that's what it is. And so I don't have Paul over here. We can get done.
Yeah, let's do a second.
Yeah. Like this one here, I've seen any man. So this would be just like sand. We Paul over and have one like that. We're not talking about this. We're talking about burrowing animals. Okay. Burrowing animals, those are good. But it's probably the ants. The stuff the ants push up, you push it.
Well, the American team obviously talking about a burrowing animal having some sort of effect here on the lie and the position of the golf ball.
There's a difference in an insect, a mole cricket, and the mole itself, the burrowing animal. I think that's what they're going to have to determine.
All right. They still haven't determined yet. I'm standing right here. It's behind the ball. It would be on their backswing where they may brush it.
There's Schmidt.
Schmidt's going from the driving range, Kurt.
Yeah, those palm trees were definitely in trouble because he couldn't keep it down. A little short left, but in pretty good shape considering he couldn't keep it down because of the palm trees.
Yeah, that's going to go about 40 yards or so down the hill, but yeah, 223 yards away.
Yeah, he's going to have to get a yardage for that next one.
That'll give you an idea right there of the steepness of 18.
It makes that shot so uncomfortable from down there on the bottom of the hill, even if you're hitting a 9-iron.
Behind the ball, that was pushed up by Anthony, and they're just looking at that now.
Stuart Wilson right in there.
That's the best thing, guys. Yeah, we're
Stuart Wilson, captain of the GB&I side. Let's bring in Craig Winter, our rules expert. What have you heard about this situation, Craig?
Well, you just saw referee Paul Brown looking at what was in and around the ball and just trying to make a determination if that was an animal hole. It would have been free relief from that, but appears that's not the case. So this ball is going to be played as it lies by Davis.
The fact that the GB&I team missed the green way to the right has got to make them a little more comfortable with their situation. Just try to hit it over there where they are.
Yeah, he's going to have to. He has 176 yards all the way back to the hole, 143 to the front edge. He's going to have to use a lot more loft than he would like to just because it's such a downhill lie and an awkward stance. He's got to be careful. He could realistically hit the far lip of this bunker as low as this could come out of here.
Yeah, I thought about that as well, Kurt. Just scoop it out of there, get it to roll down the hill. Make him get it up and down to beat you. If he drills this into the face of that bunker, he'll never forgive himself.
Right. The first club looked like an 8-iron. This looks like a 7-iron to me.
Yep, no doubt. He definitely went to less loft.
Boy, this is a really tough shot here. You got to stabilize that lower half. You got to stay tilted, and you got to chop down on the back and hope the loft gets it up.
And hope you don't hit the ground behind it and hop over the ball. Everything about this is brutal.
Hit the bunker. It's in some grass, but I don't think it's going to be a very good lie.
Did it hit the lip?
It hit the lip, and it's still in the natural area to the left.
Yeah, we can see it, Kurt. So both teams lie too. U.S. with a 1-up lead here.
Well, it was never going to be easy. He could have just hit a sand wedge or pitching wedge out of there.
How about the two lies that the Americans have faced on these last two holes?
Oh, he hit way behind it. He hit that mound behind the ball. No doubt about it. That just shows you how sharp a grade that is. Lucky it's not in the sand.
So it's still a somewhat of a sandy lie around that ball. It is in some Bermuda grass, but it's not a great lie. He does have the ability to get on the back of this ball, though, so he should be able to hit it cleanly. But any kind of mistake here, again, heavy, and it's going to come up well short.
And that little bit of rough makes all the difference. The shot value is so critical here. Anything that's not just struck perfectly doesn't hold the green.
eyeballing it, probably about 155. Had to chip something up there. It's getting a little bit too much to the right.
They're just falling apart here. Could be in the process of losing a 4-up lead.
U.S. teammates watching, knowing how crucial this is.
Bunker. Yeah. All right, that's fine.
That's Cooper Dossie, one of the alternates, hoping it gets in the bunker there. It did. And that was a quick play by Great Britain and Ireland. They now lie 3 up there. Angus Flanagan just went over there and hit that shot in a heartbeat.
He takes no time whatsoever. It's unbelievable.
Lanny Watkins fast.
So both sides lie 3. Flanagan has put Ben Schmidt in a position here for a possible 4 that could win the hole and tie the match. Who knows? But it's crucial at this point, Zing, with Great Britain and Ireland just kind of hanging around here. The difference between a point and a half point later on in the singles matches, who knows?
Well, they've done what they needed to do. Stuart Wilson sent out his 2 hottest players. They took care of business over the American juggernaut of Pearson, Cootie, and John Pock. And yeah, I mean, they always felt like they just needed to tie this session, and they might win this session. That is huge. You can't state enough how massive an underdog this GB&I team is coming into this event.
Yeah, they're looking to get 2.5 of the 4 points in this morning foursome session. And the U.S. looking to hang on to the full point here to split the morning session and keep the lead at 2, just like it was to start this final day.
Well, both teams are sitting 3, Kurt. A good bunker shot and a putt, and that forces GBI to make their putt to win the match.
That's exactly right, and obviously the lie is very good. I haven't seen a bad lie all week in whether it's fairway bunker or greenside, and this is another good one. But the challenge here is that wind up above. He's going to have to be, I think, pretty aggressive again to get it close to the hole. Good sound. Pretty darn good. I'd rather have it on that side of the hole than the other one.
Yep, it's a chance for bogey.
Wow, this is sweaty palm time, I would imagine, for both teams.
And it's a great scene around the 18th at Seminole. The entire crowd here, it was about, I don't know, 2,000 or so here gathered at Seminole Golf Club to watch this 48th edition of the Walker Cup play out. Great scene along the coastline here.
Yeah, I never thought I'd see the day when this golf course would hold an event like this and get on television.
Yeah.
You always wanted it, you know, years ago. Wow, I wish Seminole could get on TV, and here we are.
All right, 4 par to tie the match. Ben Schmidt.
Well, now it comes down to Cole Hammer.
Can he make a putt for the full point?
I think if you were to pick any player on your U.S. team to putt this putt, it would be Cole Hammer.
Texas All-American. Walker Cup experience. Already 2-0 in the matches. A chance to match his teammate Ricky Castillo and be perfect at 3-0 if this goes down.
Yeah, and he's about to pick a half a point right out of GBI's pocket if he can make this, Dan. It would be humongous going into the afternoon.
For bogey to tie the hole and secure the full point. No. And Great Britain and Ireland scratches out what could be a huge half point.
And we get back to the old momentum thing again. It's like the wind. You can't see it, but you can certainly feel it. And I'll guarantee you this GBI team is jacked up for this afternoon.
They win the 17th and 18th holes. Thompson and Hammer bogey 17. Flanagan and Schmidt able to par it to win it. And then on the 18th, a double bogey there. Bogey wins it for Flanagan and Schmidt. And they indeed take this session 2.5 points. 8.5, 7.5 is the overall point total, which will head into the final 10 singles matches to decide it.
Yeah, it's going to be intense. You got a couple players that haven't seen action yet that have been ill this week, so we'll see. We got all 10 of them out there.
Yeah, Joe Long has been the big question mark for Great Britain and Ireland's side. He's the reigning amateur champion. He has not played in a single session thus far. We'll see if he gets the call in the final 10. They've got alternates here that are able to sub in for him if need be. So we'll have to keep an eye on that as we send you down to Steve Sands once again.
Dan, thank you with the American captain. Nathaniel, what did you make of what you saw this morning from your guys?
A lot of topsy-turvy. It's Mr. Toad's wild ride today, I guess you could say. We lost that half point there at the very end. We thought we were going to get a full point. Lost the last two holes to a couple of tragic lies there on 17 and 18 that Davis Thompson and Cole Hammer got. But, the points came in slow this morning. It's only 4 points. And this afternoon we got a full 10. So it'll be like a waterfall, and we'll, hope to win some matches and see where it comes out. But it's going to be nip and tuck, that's for certain.
Now, you've been here before, so you have the experience. But the last time you were captain, your squad was down at this point. So what will you lean on now to tell your guys to get across the finish line again this afternoon?
We're all adults in the room, and I think a guy with 40-year-old credibility is not going to tell these young would-be superstars a lot at this point. I think they all have a great self-belief. I think they're going to go out and use their talent, and hopefully we'll prevail this afternoon.
We'll see you then. Thanks.
Thank you.
Yep, 2.5 to 1.5. Great Britain and Ireland doing what it needed to do to keep it close. And again, the U.S. has a much better record in singles play through the years. In the last 7 Walker